Hi, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about vinyl. Now, odds are you own one of these, and you listen to music on it through a pair of these. Unfortunately, in doing so, you're actually losing out on a lot of sound quality, and that's why vinyl has experienced a huge resurgence in popularity. In this video, I'm just going to talk about some vinyl basics and turntables. Okay, for turntables you have a lot of options, but if you don't want to break the bank, this is your best bet. Standard USB turntable, you can find these between $50 and $100, plays 33s and 45s, iPod dock, dust cover, it's belt drive, so there's really not much to go wrong, they're generally reliable. Styluses are easy to change, and there's no adjustability on the tone arm, so there's really no setup required. Pitfalls, vibration dampening is pretty poor, and you only have one option of stylus, and the sound quality leaves a little to be desired. Now, if you're a bit more hardcore about sound quality, and you want a studio quality table, then I recommend opting for a direct drive turntable. This particular one is the Technics 1210, which is part of the 1200 line, which is one of the best-selling turntables of all time, if not the best-selling. And it is so for two reasons. A, it's made of cast aluminum. I mean, the vibration dampening in this thing is just superb. Also, it's direct drive, which means that the platter is spun by magnetic field. There's no physical connection between the motor and the record, and that also further isolates any possible vibration. What you get is you get speed monitoring strobe. When the record's at speed, the big dots do not move. See if I slow it down a little bit, or if I speed it up, they move in either direction. Go from 33 to 45. Pitch control at minus and +8. Height is fully adjustable, anti-skate is fully adjustable, and counterweighting fully adjustable. And you get to use whatever cartridge you like. Also comes with a track light to find your tracks in the dark. This particular line of turntables was made from 1978 to 2010, and because they've been discontinued, the price has risen a bit. You can find them in fairly beat-up condition for about $350 at Guitar Center or online. And in closer to mint condition like this, it will run you about double that. But you do get what you pay for. In this video, I will show you how to set up one of these, all the adjustments that you need to make sure that your turntable is putting out optimum sound quality. Okay, so let's talk about what actually makes the music. The cartridge. Now, there are two styles of cartridge. Style number 1, integrated head shell. There's no adjustments to make because there's nothing to adjust, and it just mounts on the tone arm like so. Style number 2, cartridge mounted on a head shell. Mounts to the head shell by these two screws right here, and also you need to attach these color-coded leads. It sounds complicated, it's not. They come with all the hardware necessary, screws, little screwdriver, and cleaning brush, which also doubles as a little toothbrush. Also, it's important to note, when handling your cartridges off the table, it's very important to leave little plastic guards attached. You don't want to damage the stylus, it's very fragile. Now, these two cartridges are different weights, so they need to be adjusted differently on the turntable. Allow me to demonstrate. Okay, so unsurprisingly, these different cartridges have different weights. It's also important to note that I've removed the guards to get a more accurate reading. Let's start with the 2M red. The 2M red is coming in at 15.5 grams. Next we have the Concord, and the Concord is tipping the scales at 18.4 grams. So it's because that cartridges have different weights that we have the counterweight back here, and that's how we compensate for the different weight cartridges. Okay, so we've attached the head shell to the tone arm by inserting and screwing it tight. Now we come back here to the counterweight. You float the cartridge by adding or removing weight, and I'll show you the differences between too much, too little, and float, which is what we want. If when you drop the tone arm down, the cartridge sinks to the deck, that means you do not have enough counterweight. You need to dial some in. When you release the head shell, it floats up in the air. There is too much counterweight. You need to dial some out. Right now, we have it just right, where the tone arm does not raise or lower when left alone. Now, if you're buying your turntable used, a good way you can test to see if the bearings in the tone arm are still good is to float the head shell, like we have now, and drop a piece of paper. That up and down motion that we just saw means that the bearings are still good. If the head shell had had no movement at all, the bearings would need replacing, and I would not recommend buying it, or at least bargaining a little bit. Now I have already done so, but you want to move this plastic ring independently of the counterweight back here to set that for 0. That's your float. Now the manufacturer recommends this cartridge has a tracking weight of 1.7 grams. So we're going to dial this up to 1.7, line the two marks up, and perfect. We have dialed in our cartridge. And the next thing to consider is tone arm height. So first step in adjusting tone arm height is unlocking the tone arm. Then we come over here and make note of what our height setting is. Right now we're at 3. Come back and we place the needle on the record. Drop it down. Now we want an even distance from here and here, and the best bet we can do is just to observe this by eye. So come over to the tone arm ring and rotate it. Now rotate the ring and the entire base assembly will move. Right now, that's looking pretty good. I'm adjusting, so make note that our setting right now is just a hair below 2. Now that we've finished, raise the tone arm, place it over, drop it down, and lock the tone arm height in place. And there we have it. Now our last step before being able to play records is to use our alignment tool, or protractor. Now you know you printed one out to the right scale when this line is the edge of your record, which we have. If you come over to here and we drop the cartridge down, we want both of these sets of parallel lines to be square with the cartridge, which we can measure by eye by taking a step back. I've already aligned this cartridge in this head shell, so I know that this one's good. But if we come over to here, drop it down on the second spot, these lines and these lines are parallel with the cartridge again. These edges should be square all the way along. And with that, we have properly set up our turntable for optimal sound quality. Thanks for watching.